This is about Alice and Andy. Now, Alice is a nurse. She's 54 years old, and Andy's 60, and he's living with a disability. Next year, at age 55, Alice would like to retire so she can spend more time with her husband, Andy. And they've got some questions. They're just wondering, should they sell their condo and live at their recreational property? Alice is also wondering, should she work part-time once she retires? And if they retired now, would they have enough income to provide them $60,000 a year after tax? So let's go ahead and take a look. And we can see that their net worth looks good, starting here, and it's increasing over time. If we look at their income assets, so their RSPs and non-registered accounts, we can see that they're good until about here, 2018, but then we've got a large gap, so there's just not enough money here. So let's take a look and see why. Let's look at their cash flow, how much money is coming in each year, how much is going out, and we can see that in retirement, they're going to be short about $9,000, maybe $10,000 here. So sure, Alice could work part-time and cover that, but then once Andy's disability pension is gone, there is quite a shortage, and we need to make that up. So let's take a look and see how we can solve this gap here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come in and we're going to sell the condominium. So we're going to sell that in 2013, and then we're going to go to the cottage, and we're going to live there, but we need to make some renovations on the cottage, and we'll do that. We'll spend about $75,000 doing that. So when we look at the net worth, we can see the net worth over time is growing, and then it starts to deplete here. If we look at the income assets, again, we see them, fairly flat. The green really represents the sale of the condo. But then we have a little gap here when Alice is about age 85 years old. Okay, so let's take a look at that gap. One of the things that we can see if we look at the cash flow, how much is coming in each year and how much is going out, things are fairly good up until about when, unfortunately, Andy has passed away. And we can see that there's a shortage here of about $30,000 a year. And one thing that's interesting to note when we look at that, if we look at the income taxes over time, we can see income taxes are fairly low, up to 2030. When Andy has passed away, we can see that income tax has gone from here, about $9,000, almost 10, to almost 18. So there's a jump of about $8,000 a year in taxes to pay. And this is because we're no longer able to split pension, and we've lost some of the disability credits and things. So just something to be aware of. The other thing we want to take a look at is Andy and Alice have asked for an income of $60,000 a year after tax, and of course with inflation this is what they're really spending. But I've noticed that right now they're spending $66,000 a year, and $20,000 of that is going towards a mortgage. So do they actually need $60,000 a year? What would happen if we just dropped this down to, say, I don't know, $55,000 a year? What would happen? And we'll do that, and we'll save this, and we can see now they've got a surplus of cash, and everything works fine. So Andy and Alice, a few things to watch out for, but they have some options available, and it looks like they could retire now, and Alice really doesn't have to work part-time. The other solution they have, or consideration she could make, if we go back to our $60,000 a year of income, and we look at our net worth, there still is the recreational property. So Alice could at some point just sell the recreational property, and that would take care of this gap here also. So I think everything looks good, and then they're all set.